What's up, fight fans, and welcome to a very special virtual press conference. I'm Beto Duran, and today joined by two fighters that will face off in a potential Fight of the Year contender as Tijuana's undefeated star Jaime Munguia takes on rugged Philly fighter Gabriel Rosado, live exclusively on DAZN. The fight is presented by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions in association with Zanfit Promotions and will be for the WBO Intercontinental Middleweight World Title. The clash will take place at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com, so don't miss it. Okay, let's start this off by going to New York to hear from DAZN Executive Vice President Joe Markowski. Joe?
Well, thanks, Beto. Listen, what can I say about this card? Everyone at DAZN is very excited about the main event. It's going to be an all-out war. We are hoping between two of the toughest men in the sport. Only 24 years of age, Jaime has rapidly risen through the ranks and beaten some of the best on his way to the top of the division. You've only got to look at his incredible knockout to win ratio at 81% and the resume of opponents that he's fought to know that he's a world championship level fighter and one that we are very confident will be in the pound for pound conversation very soon indeed. His opponent in Gabriel Rosado is as tough as they come. There is no doubting that. We've watched on DAZN several times what a fierce competitor he is and how willing he is to step into the ring against any man in the sport. So we're very excited to have him back on DAZN, and I'm sure he's raring to go too. All in all, this is a fight you don't want to miss. All of the action from fight week as ever, all the way through to fight night itself will be carried live and exclusive on DAZN, worldwide on DAZN, as part of what's shaped up to be a blockbuster boxing schedule for us as we close out the year. So as ever, we'll thank Oscar, we'll thank the Golden Boy team for their partnership and their support, and wish both camps the best of luck in their preparations. We look forward to seeing all of you come November the 13th.
Let's roll on as we're going to go to the OC and welcome Kim Badir, Senior Vice President and General Manager of OC Vibe. Kim?
Thank you, Beto. For over 28 years, Honda Center has hosted world-class sporting events and great fights on and off the ice. And that legacy continues as we welcome back Golden Boy Promotions to Anaheim. On November 13th, rising superstar Jaime Munguia takes on Gabriel Rosado live in this highly anticipated match. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com, and we will see you on Fight Night here at Honda Center.
Thanks, Kim. Can't wait to be back at the Honda Center, a great place for fights. And don't forget, tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com. You don't want to miss it. Now it's time to speak to the president of Golden Boy Promotions, Eric Gomez. Munguia Rosado, how did this happen, Eric?
Rosado won his lottery ticket in his last fight. You know, when he knocked out Beck the Bully, he had such a great knockout that, you know, everybody, the fans, everybody was clamoring for this fight.
And then you get him against Munguia. There might be some matchmakers. Some people say, you know what? We like our undefeated fighter, but Rosado, he's that veteran. He's been around the block. Why put Munguia up?
It's a type of fight that Munguia needs to establish himself in that division. In many ways, Rosado's been around. He's got great experience. You know, he's kind of like the keeper at the gate there in the middleweight, super middleweight division. And this is a great example of, you know, records not really meaning anything because, you know, he's always dangerous. He's always dangerous. And this fight, if Munguia can get past him, establishes himself as one of the top players in the division.
One of the top players in the division. I mean, you've known Munguia when he was younger. You guys made him a champion at 154. Now here he is at 24 years old. Where's the future for him?
Yeah, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. But he needs these type of fights. He needs these type of fights so that he can establish himself, so that he can prove that he belongs. Yeah, he won the title when he was very young. He fought a smaller guy in Saddam Ali. That was great. We've been bringing him along. He moved up to 160. These are the type of fights he needs so that he can establish himself.
When the fight was announced, you started seeing the reaction on social media. It was like, oh, this is a good fight. It's not an easy one. That's the reaction. As a president and as a former matchmaker, when you hear that from the fans, how do you feel?
Well, it's always good. It's always good to announce fights and you get a positive feedback. It's not always the case. We always try to please the fans. I mean, that's first and foremost. You want to please the fans. You want to make the fights that they want. You got to kind of keep your ear to the ground and listen to the chatter, what they're talking about. A lot of fans were talking about this fight after Rosado's last win. They wanted this fight. And we heard them loud and clear. And I'm happy we were able to get it done. It's going to be a great fight.
You know, Rosado's a fighter who's been around the block. If you look at his record, you're like, whatever. But a fight fan knows that this is the dude that comes to fight every single time. You guys have worked with him many times on different shows. How dangerous a fighter is he for Munguia?
He's as dangerous as they come. I mean, we've been working with him for many, many years. It seems like over 10 years he's done fights with us. I think back of all the fights where he was supposed to be an opponent and he came out either with a draw or a win. He's just that type of guy. I mean, the great thing about Gabriel Rosado now, when you talk to him versus when we first started working with him over 10 years ago, is that he's so much more mature. He takes everything a little more professional. His discipline's better. His motivation's better. He's got a family now, so that always seems to settle a fighter down. He's always in shape. He's always working out. He's always in shape. Those are the guys that are dangerous, the guys that are always in the gym, the guys that are always ready to fight. Those are the most dangerous guys.
And his opponent, Jaime Munguia, 24 years old, but he's also that fighter that stays locked in the gym, training with Eric Morales. What kind of young man is he?
That you brought up a really, really good point. You can see the progression in him. He's learning from one of the best, one of the masters, one of the greatest fighters out of Mexico, and Eric Morales. Multi-division champion, multi-champion, fought all the top fighters in the world. That experience, I mean, you can't buy that experience. To have someone like that in your corner, the psyche that he has, the mindset that he has, it's been great for him. Munguia's still very, very young, but having a guy like Eric Morales with him is a huge plus. It's a huge plus.
He's a fighter that gets it, but he also has a lot of fans. November 13th in Anaheim, Honda Center, Eric. There's going to be a lot of Mexican fans showing up for Jaime Munguia, only 2 hours away from Tijuana. What do you expect?
You bring up a very, very good point. Another good point. Whenever you have Mexico versus Puerto Rico, whether it's Mexican American, whether it's Mexican, whether it's Puerto Rican American, I mean, you name it. It's always going to be a fun fight. It's always going to be a great fight. The thing about the Mexican fight fans is that they're very educated when it comes to boxing. And they have a great deal of respect for the Puerto Ricans. Yeah, you want to beat them. You want your guy to win. But they also know and they understand the rich history from Puerto Rico. So there's going to be a lot of Gabriel Rosado supporters, believe it or not. Here in the LA area, I mean, he has won over the fans. They really, truly do respect him because he's a warrior, because he gives it his all, because he's in there to either try to knock you out or he will get knocked out. You love that. Whenever, you have a fighter that's that disciplined, that dedicated to his craft, you can't help but root for him. So yes, Jaime is going to be the favorite. Jaime is going to have the, I guess, backyard fans that are going to be around for him. But don't be fooled. Rosado's going to have a lot of supporters as well.
And Rosado trains in Hollywood with Freddie Roach at Wildcard. It'll be a good one. November 13th, Jaime Munguia, Gabriel Rosado going at it live on DAZN. Eric Gomez, president of Golden Boy, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Beto. Looking forward to this fight. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Thank you for all the support.
Now we're joined by the man looking to make back-to-back statements in the boxing world from Philly, Gabe Rosado. You run across certain boxers where you look at the record and you're like, wait a minute, that guy's way better than his record indicates. And he's also dangerous. And that's Gabriel Rosado with a record of 26-13-1. But he also has the attitude of, I don't care where you're at. I don't care whose backyard. Let's go, put the gloves on, and get after it. Gabe Rosado taking on Jaime Munguia, who's undefeated November 13th. Gabe, some people might say, what's he doing this for? Your attitude is what?
Well, I think just the last couple fights since actually I linked up with Freddie, I think it shows like, this is, an improved Gabriel Rosado. Experience, putting in the work, and it's like you said, man. My record's deceiving. I wasn't the guy with the machine behind me, with the big promoters, big management behind me. So a lot of the times I went into fights that, the other guy was the favorite, and fights that should have went my way, I got the shit under the stick, you know. And it showed in the Danny Jacobs fight. I just saw that fight not so long ago, man. I was like, wow, I clearly outboxed him, but you know, that's just. But the beauty of it is that the fans get to see it, and the fans, at the end of the day, you know, they you can't fool the fans. And you know, with the statement that I made in my last fight, you know, I think that's knockout of the year. You know, so we're excited about this Munguia fight.
You're not gonna have to find each other. Is that the game plan?
You know, man. You know, I'm excited to. You know, I'm not gonna give up the game plan, obviously, but you know, I want to do a little bit of everything. You know, I'm gonna bang. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna box. I'm gonna, you know, but I'm going in to win. I'm going into, and I'm not just to win on the scorecards, man. I wanna get a knockout. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep that momentum going because I think it's important that, you know, these are the kind of fights where it has to live to the expectations. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be 100%, and you gotta be willing to lay it all in the ring, because like I said, this goes down in the history books. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the fights that, you know, they'll be talking about 20, 30 years from now.
You know, that bringing that up right there, it's gonna go down as the books. I already know this, and I'm not being like, oh, the company salesman, but knowing you,
Yeah.
knowing Munguia, knowing your style, the way you guys go after it, and how hungry both of you are. You know,
Yeah.
some fighters might have been saying, you know what, after his last knockout, maybe I don't want to fight Gabriel Rosado. Munguia said, yeah, let's get after it. You got to have
Yeah.
respect for somebody like that.
No doubt, and that's what makes this fight so special. You know, Bekdemir is two-time Olympian. I believe 290 knockouts in the amateurs. Was crushing his opponents in the pros. Big, strong, powerful guy. You know, so that was a statement. You know, so like you said, you know, Munguia could have went. He could have went an easier route. You know, he could have went with his mandatory. But you gotta respect. You gotta respect the guy that says, "Nah, I want Rosado." You know, and is willing to give the fans what they want. And that's what makes this fight special, is that it's a fight that the fans ask for. And you know, in boxing nowadays with the politics, it's hard to give the fans what they want. And, you know, this right here is just like, it's an early Christmas gift for the fans. You know, it's like, it's going to be lit.
November 13th, another chance to cement the Gabe Rosado legacy amongst fight fans.
Yeah.
Live on DAZN, taking on undefeated Tijuana fighter Jaime Munguia. Gabe, good luck to you. We'll see you in Anaheim.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
And now let's hear from Tijuana's very own undefeated Jaime Munguia. November 13th, Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Undefeated from Tijuana, Jaime Munguia taking on Gabe Rosado. And Jaime, why take on Rosado? ¿Por qué pelear contra Gabriel Rosado?
Pues creo que es un buen reto. La verdad, siempre he tenido, pues he mirado que ha peleado con grandes peleadores, con grandes rivales, entonces pues nos llamó la atención una pelea contra él y creo que va a ser una pelea muy buena para todo el público, tanto como para mí.
Yeah, it's a good challenge. I've seen that he's gone up against some tough fighters. I know it's going to be a good challenge for myself, and I want to get after it. It'll be good for the fans. Cuando dijeron que ibas a pelear contra Rosado, ¿cómo te preparaste? ¿Qué estás haciendo? When they told you you're going to fight Rosado, where did you prepare? Where are you?
Pues la verdad es que estamos ahora sí que trabajando cosas en general, mi distancia, mis manos arriba, vimos que Gabriel Rosado tiene una muy buena derecha en su última pelea, entonces pues queremos estar prevenidos para que no nos pase lo mismo, entonces pues estamos trabajando mucho la velocidad, la media distancia, movimientos de cintura.
I thought Rosado had a good right hand, as we saw in his last fight, working on keeping the distance, working on a lot of different things. Make sure that we don't get caught with that right hand like he had it in his last opponent. Just working on a bunch of different things. Ya tienes 24 años, ganaste el campeonato a la edad de 21, 154. Ahora estás 24, estás listo, estás maduro. ¿Qué es el futuro para Juan Munguia? You won a title at 154, now you're 24 years old. What's the future for Jaime Munguia?
Pues la verdad que sí, pues como tú dices, a los 21 años gané el campeonato mundial. A través de todos estos años pues hemos ganado buena experiencia, creo que he mejorado mucho mi boxeo, entonces pues estamos listos para los grandes retos. Después de Rosado se habla mucho de una pelea con Derviachenko, con Jacobs, Golovkin,
It's a good challenge at the age of 24. Like you said, I was a champion at 21. Want to take on the best in the division, Derevchenko, whoever it is that they line up for me. See a bunch of different names. I want to go after it with them. Anytime you have Mexico against Puerto Rico, it's always a fun fight night. Cuando tiene México contra Puerto Rico, siempre el ambiente está bueno. ¿Qué esperas esta vez?
Pues yo creo que va a ser un ambiente muy bueno, va a ser una pelea pues de muchos golpes, va a ser una pelea de guerra, entonces siempre se ha sabido en la historia que México y Puerto Rico pues son grandes peleas. Yo la verdad que miro a Gabriel Rosado pues muy motivado, que está entrenando fuerte para brindar una gran pelea, entonces pues vamos a dejar todo arriba del ring y vamos a brindar algo muy bueno.
I'm ready for a war. I know there's going to be a lot of punches. Anytime you have Mexico against Puerto Rico, that's what you're expected. And I know that you see a very motivated Gabriel Rosado and going to bring it all out, leave it all in the ring, and come out with the hand up high. Jaime Munguia, el tijuanense. Tijuana, donde ganaron los toros. He's undefeated, 24 years old, takes on Gabriel Rosado live on DAZN, November 13th from Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Gracias, campeón. Thanks to everyone for watching, and don't forget to tune in November 13th exclusively on DAZN. Around the world, you'll be able to see Mexico and Puerto Rico going at it. Tijuana's Jaime Munguia, Philadelphia with Philly roots, Gabe Rosado at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss out. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you November 13th.